Okay, this part is just an optional thing. I like to use the gel on top of my nails. So I've just applied these wraps. I just filed them. I did the snag test on my clothes and they don't snag. But what I don't like is you'll see the cuticles, they look all dry and they look really kind of like unfinished. I don't like that look. That's my personal, I just don't like it. So what I do on top of it is I use the Jamberry True Shine Gel. It's a gel that gives a high shine, but it doesn't have the formaldehyde and all those other camphor and all those other bad chemicals that I don't want to have on my actual skin. I use that to take away that. So that is what I'm going to show you today. So it is a two-part process. You have the base coat, which is also a clear coat. And I've tried it different ways. I've tried it with just the base coat or just the top coat. And I find that the two coats work together. When you use the top coat by itself, it's just going to peel off. Same thing goes for the base coat. So you don't want to do that. So the base coat, I'm going to put on a light layer on right over the wrap. And even though it says base coat, you don't want to use it underneath the wrap. It doesn't work like that. So it's actually the base coat for the actual top shine gel. So you just want to put on just a light layer, a thin layer, I should say. And I'm going to fill in that area that I'm not too fond about. Also, if you have longer nails, you want to make sure you get the edge of your nails to seal that wrap, because this gel will actually even make your wraps last even longer. I've gotten 18 days out of my nail wraps when I put the True Shine on it. So you want to put that on there and just seal the edges. And then I use the Jamberry LED light. It's not UV, because UV is pretty dangerous to your skin. So it's an LED light. It doesn't heat up or anything like that, but you just press the button and it stays on for 45 seconds, which is the amount of time that it needs to cure the gel enamel base coat and also the top coat. So we'll just wait the 45 seconds here and seal the ends of the nail wraps. The other reason why I like to use the True Shine is that I use a lot of essential oils and I do a lot of oil hand treatments for my dry hands. So as we know, coconut oil will take your gel wraps off. So if I'm using oils on my nails, then I don't want them to come off. So the True Shine helps to keep your nails on even if your hands are exposed to a lot of oils. So the other thing that I do is put the top coat on, and again you'll see it's a little bit thicker than the base coat. Get it down into the cuticle area, and then also put a nice seal on the edge. And this is tricky for me because I'm not a very good nail polish applier. So sometimes little areas will get a little bit too thick. And then you just want to seal it. And it also gives a nice, I think it has a nice finish to it. Like you got your nails done at a salon. It has a nice little finish to it. Instead of making it look like you have a flat sticker on your nail, it makes it look like you have a lot more substance to your nail, not like a flat little sticker. Now, I got a little bit of the top coat right on my skin. And you want to get that off because once it cures, it looks like a big lump of clear gel. And that doesn't look really good. So just clean it right off before you cure the nails. All right, so it's gonna go in for 45 seconds. And again, it's just one press of the button and then it will stay on for 45 seconds. It will cure your nails and then will give a nice high shine. It'll seal the edges. I always recommend this for anyone that is experiencing lifting. Gardeners, if you garden a lot, I definitely recommend putting the gel enamel on top of your nails to keep the, you get the, even if you're wearing gloves, the dirt will get in there and it will get into the sides of your nails. And for wraps, that is the kiss of death because you get all the rocks and the debris under there. So the gel keeps all that rock and debris out of there. All right, so the 45 seconds is over. And what happens after the nail wraps, it actually becomes kind of it has a sticky residue that it leaves that you have to take off with either rubbing alcohol or the Jamberry nail wrap, nail prep. And it just takes that right off. You don't want to have that sticky nail wrap. And it does not come off with just soap and water. It really needs to be like alcohol. So now it's nice and smooth and non-sticky. And then it has that nice shine to it. Has a nice shine to it. So then you can see that's nice and sparkly now. And then now that area that I did not like is now nice and filled in. It looks like you have it's been nicely filled with shellac or gel, like how it is. And that tends to last a little bit longer than just your regular wraps. About 10 to, I've gotten 18 days out of my nail wraps with the gel on top.